Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. We are going to continue working on, this is week 2 of block 2 of Be My Neighbor from Moda. It was a Pat Sloan sew along in 2017, but there's really no videos that complete the whole series, so we are definitely going to be doing that all the way up into Christmas. So it is 16 blocks, and of course there's obviously more than 16 weeks, or less than 16 weeks till Christmas, so we're going to have to double up on a couple of Fridays. So that's okay. Today we're just going to take on the one, just because I thought maybe those pinwheels might be a little bit complicated for some people. So you never know. It was trying for me. So it is a 15 by 18 block. It looks really nice, and like I've said in the previous one, if you want to check out block number 1, we'll put an iCard here or here, and you can check that out and start the whole series with us. But also there'll be links to the patterns in the Show More section underneath the video, so please check there, okay? So as I said, I'm making 2 of these, one for my sister Elizabeth, one for my sister Lisa, and I've got block 1 behind me right there ready to rock. So what do we want to finish doing here is putting our house together, whatever it is called. So I don't know if this is just a representation of a very tall house or it's a grain mill. I don't know what it is, but nonetheless, I tried to have some fun with it. So, and of course with the pinwheels in the center. So let's finish off we'll call it the grain stack. Okay. So it was very easy, very uncomplicated, 3.5 by 15.5, 2 by 15.5, and then we're adding our top part. So the only thing is, we're gotta lay a little chimney stack, okay, just like that. So what we want to do is we want to put it this way, sideways, going horizontal. So when flipped, it's going to make it look like a chimney stack. Just like that, okay? Isn't that neat? Not neat? And you could do that for the house too if you like. Just make sure that the square that you're using, if you wanted to put a chimney on this house, is equal to, when you put your strips together, 5 by 5, okay? So, and when we go to do this one, we're just going to do the 5 on the one side, 5 on the other. But I'm just saying, for if you wanted to put a chimney stack on your house, you could, okay? So now we have that there. We're going to mark a little line on the diagonal. Actually, I want to put the other one on first. Sorry, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. And I have used matching fabrics on both the blocks just to tie the 2 together. I'm tying it to my sister's. I'm going to have scraps of this fabric left over till the cows come home and then some. So I can always put them into other projects and remember this quilt project that I made for the 2 of them. I've never made a project of the same, working on 2 at the same time. So for my sisters, so I'm very excited by this. I'm hoping to get it done to them right for the beginning of the year. So one's got to go to Manitoba and the other one's got to go to Alberta. Okay, and I always jump over to give myself that other little extra half square triangle as part of these projects. And then when you collect them, you can put 675 of them together and make yourself a beautiful half square triangle bag. You can. I've done it. Check out the video. Videos. All right, now we want to go a diagonal line from here, from one corner to corner, and make sure we're going across the horizontal part of it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Did I do that wrong? I think I did that wrong already. Yeah, because if we put it that way, that's not going to help it. It's going to make it off to the side. Oh, I put the line on the wrong side. That's okay. Shouldn't really matter, but it does. Okay, got to go horizontal to make it go vertical. Okay. And if you feel the need to pin it, go ahead and do it. The reason I wanted to do this one first, so it overlaps and you get that nice little pretty corner at the top. Okay. All right, so let's put that underneath the needle and get it sewn down. and I'm going to get block 3 and 4 ready for next Friday. So if you want to catch up and play along, then we're going to do 3 and 4 next Friday, okay? So I'm prepping you now, okay? Isn't that just the cutest? It's just the cutest little house top, or I don't know, green stack top. Okay, so line it up, and then we'll sew it. Put that off to the half square triangle pile. Okay. And tomorrow, being September 26th, is going to be a very fun day. We are live streaming from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. And it's a whole 12-hour fun on September 26, 2020. There we go. Okay, so that's our little bit that goes next to our house. And I've already done a little bit to the house to make us get it faster along here. But let me do my top part of my house, the peak of my roof, and then we'll finish off the housey brick part. Okay, so that's kind of a big piece. It's 5 inches by 5 inches. Okay, and I want to do one side first and then the next. Okay, you always want to do the one and then flip and then sew, and you can always get that little extra half square triangle out. And of course you can put those together in some fun and neat fashion. If you had a really neat backing to it, you can chop up the backing and add those little pieces in between, make it a really neat pieced backing. I mean, why not? I've always wanted to do that. I have done piece backing, but not to the extent that I was just thinking. So I'm always have a tendency to save the half square triangles for the half square triangle bucket. I'm always trying to figure out what I would like to do with them next. First was to make a big bag, and I did. It's a gorgeous bag. Very, very colorful. Okay, do a little finger press. Get that open, and then line this one up the same way. So make sure those peaks are going together, just like we were working on the tree last week, right? The trees and the rooftops. Okay, back underneath the needle. Go all the way down from that corner to that corner. Oops, here, let's get our extra little piece here. I square all these up anyway, so it's not accurate of how far I'm moving my foot over. I just try to give it a foot's length and a little bit extra, so I know I can come in here and have a good seam allowance on either side without it going to fall apart on me. Okay, so there we go. That's our little house topper. Give that a little finger press, and we can sew on our little 9.5 by 2 and 1 or 2 and 1/4 onto there. Okay, so that's going to be our little house. So yes, this one's focused a little bit more on the Christmas fabric. I'm probably going to flip and flop as I'm going down the quilt project because I would like it to come out all year long. I don't want it just out for Christmas. I'd like it all year long. So. And because there's 16, you can't just do one house per month sort of thing. So you just got to mix and match it throughout the quilts. And I plan on doing one that's towards the middle that I liked in the middle of the project, a couple of little Halloween-y fabrics too. So, and there's, I just want to mix it up. I want to have like all the 4 seasons in this quilt project, okay? So now that we've come to this part right here, we're there on our little progress. And I have these put together here. So you cut them at 2 3/8 on the angle, sew them together, square them up to 2. These ones you cut 3 7/8, cut on the angle, sew them together. You want to square them up to 3.5. And then this is your house pieces, these 2 by 5s, and then your bottom house piece right here. So I have one more little section of this to build. So we need to square these up to 2 inches, okay? And I chose some fun colors for my pinwheels. I did like a pinky purple over on that one. And of course I did, and some plaid, and I used the same plaid, and some red and white polka dots for this one. So, and I just kind of trimmed off the dog ears and then move it to the 2 line. Give it another trim. Popped it back this way, trimmed off the dog ear, turned it around, lined it up on the 2 line, And that is my 2 by 2, okay? And you want to make sure you're squaring these up because you don't want those little bits and bobs hanging out, okay? They're just going to mess up your project. There. I think I had this one to do. Yeah, just a little off the tip there. Okay. And believe it or not, these little bits that you left over, if you don't square them up, will mess up your project. You've got lumps and bumps and things not lining up and not being square and waves and all sorts of things. Take the time to square up. I wasn't a big fan of it at first, but you're learning as you're going, and you don't really want to make mistakes when it comes to some of these things. So just square up as you go. Put the time in. It'll be worth the effort. It really, really will. Okay. All right. Here, that's right. Our little plaid's going on to the bottom. Right? Yes, it is. Okay, we're going to sew those two together. And then we're going to add it to our little 3.5 that we've squared up with our cute little snowman fabric and our house fabric right there. And then we're going to add this piece onto it to finish off our little pinwheel, okay? So if you can see that there. Move some stuff out of the way. There we go. So we're trying to finish off this guy right here. Nope. There it is. Yeah. That'll go here and this will go there, okay? So make sure I have my, oops, already messed that up. Way to go. Turn it around. There we go. Sew it this side. Okay, and then we're just going to sew it on to the snowmans. Okay, just like that. Line it up. Put it under the machine. Now this is a great way to bust your stash, definitely. And you can really be very personal about building your houses, especially if you know who you're building them for, right? It's a little bit more special if you know who you're building them for. I think anyways, because you have them in mind. All right. Now we'll give that just a little press. Okay. All right, and then we'll line it up where it needs to go here. Okay. And you could square these up too. I noticed that some of them were just a little, some of those pieces were a little sticking out curve-wise. So you can always square them up as well. This one here needed to just kind of tuck in just a little bit. There we go. Oh. Turn this back the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so put these two together. Make sure. Yes, it is. And then we'll sew that 4 together. And then we just put our bottom of the house on and the top of the house on, and we're good to go. Okay, give it a little finger press. Line up our little pinwheel. Make sure it's spinning in the right direction, and we're happy with the way it's laying out. If you want, put a pin in the center so your pinwheel stays nice and pointy. And then just wiggle your front and your back. Or the beginning and the end of your line up. Okay, pull that out. Okay, and then that'll get a little press. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not bad on the point there. Okay, and then this top goes on here, the top of our house. Now, getting each of these blocks done, you could certainly add more embellishments to it if you wanted to put little trees or bushes or you know, a fence or a little dog or what have you. You can totally be creative. There's always the heat and bond or heat and press, you know, you can stitch down, and then if you weren't going to wash it, then you didn't have to worry too much about it coming off, right? You can just use it as a wall hanging. But you could definitely embellish it. Really start tweaking all those little houses your own, especially if you were just doing maybe 1 or 2 or 4 as a wall hanging or pillows. You could really tweak it so it really looks like that person's house or something like that. You could add numbers, a mailbox, you know, certainly got certain trees out front. Okay, let's press those seams that I've just sewn, which is like here and here and here, and this up here, and then we'll just put the 2 together, okay? And that is what block 2 looks like, okay? So let's just give that a little heat. Okay. I really like that idea of where the chimney stack, how to do the chimney stack. That's smart. That's really smart. I like that. I could use that in the future for other projects. Okay, now I said if you wanted to, you could line it up on the right-hand side, the left-hand side. You may notice that the stack is on the other side of this one. Design challenge or design feature. I was like, oops, oh well, it still looks good. No one said they had to be exactly the same. All right, let's put pins on that seam and then sew on down. And then we have that beautiful block 2. I'm so excited. This is coming along now. It's coming along. I really like the colors I chose. You can see how I added a pop of purple here. Just because this little like mauvey purple here with the snowflake, I thought that could still play on it. And then we had some of the red and the, you know, different colors here with the snowman. That's why I chose it. I love the snowman. Snowmans are my favorite. So I'm of course incorporating some of my own favorite things into the quilt project as well. And I have no set mind of like which block is for which sister or anything else like that. I will decide when we put it all together what block is going where or what have you. That's how I roll. See what looks best next to the next one. All right, and that, my dear folks, is block 2. Isn't that awesome? Looks so pretty. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. There we go. 1 and 2. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Super easy, not very hard, and not an overly amount of background fabric. A lot of it was the house, and you could break up colors here. It was different tones for those small half square triangles there. That's why I chose 2 different colors to work with for those instead of keeping it maybe one of the background color or the house colors or something like that. I wanted it to be fun and pretty and unique. So that is block 2 of Be My Neighbor. Thank you very much for everybody who's coming and sewing along with us. Like I said, free pattern. It's in the show more comments, and we're happy to see your blocks on what you got going on. I can't wait to see them. So take care, everybody. Big hugs to you, and stay out of trouble. Bye-bye.